Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Wednesday, December the 5th, and this is the market overview, looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and so many others. Um, Today was not overly, wonderful, but there are a few things to go over tonight which are pretty cool. We aren't switching over to the new format just yet, but we're getting closer, so the videos will continue until the switchover. I'm shooting for next week, but we'll see, since there's only a few days left in this week. But anyways, away we go. Don't want to keep everybody. So here we are with the daily of the Dow. And fascinating, isn't it? Because it did have a pretty good day. Last night, the theme was, don't count your chickens before they're hatched on the bearish side, and that we needed a little more time for the bulls to react, really. And today they did react, so that was awesome. Gave all kinds of reasons last night, and yeah, I think that they worked out. So here we are with the Dow up 82 points. It gave away a lot of its top today, but in this grand scheme of things, it's not terrible. We have the descending trend line from the descending channel, and where did it close today? It closed right on it again. It keeps trying, it keeps trying, it keeps trying, and each time it kisses it, each time it pierces it, it's a little bit less, but they are running out of time. I mean, a close above it today would have been a really good sign, and it just couldn't quite do it. Not a good sign, but it's back above the 200-day moving average. So I'll give it a little more time, but it makes it a little bit questionable. But last night, yeah, I didn't think that was the moment for a rollover, and I'm not overly concerned about today's either. Anyways, 14-day RSI moving average still in ascent. Stochastics for the most part hanging out. CCI up, RSI up, histogram up, MACD up. This isn't the worst looking chart. New recent high today at its top. So, am I worried about it? No, not especially. 1300 was retaken, but as to the downside, I think tomorrow has a better chance than yesterday for some movement to the downside. So just to throw that out there, but anyways, that's what I think. 60-minute time frame. See what happened. See if it's too much what it did today, and we can see the big move up today shortly after the markets opened, and what is it doing? It's going back and sitting on that trend line. So. Very important, because it's at this moment where it either needs to bounce off or it's going to sink below. There's no in between. So we shall see. It did have a little bit of a topping area in the 60-minute time frame as it reached its apex today, and we can see by the end of the day it cleared it. But CCI pointing down, stochastics rolling over high, 14-day RSI moving average ticking down on the RSI, sideways on the MACD, and slightly down on the MACD histogram. At this moment, does it look like it's more likely to bounce off of it or to go below it? It looks like it's more likely that it will go below it. And that's why I'm saying on the daily time frame, it's more likely that tomorrow will be the down day instead of yesterday. I didn't believe yesterday. So, anyways. There's some reasoning to my thinking. SPX. I want to make this a little prettier. And just like the Dow, we're not overly convinced. It did have a really nasty dip at one point of the day, but it recovered it all. And it ended with a something in between a hammer and a spinning top. It did pierce the lower trend line here. It's a decent sign, but it's not a great sign. Everything else is the same as the Dow. Everything else is the same in the 60-minute. The Dow being better than SPX at the moment. you know, what else is there to say? Everything that applied to the Dow applies to SPX. So I'm just going to move on to the VIX. And last night we said 200-day moving average, that is the problem area. Today, what did it do? It went right up to it and it fell to pieces. How about that? Beyond that, we have the stochastics moving up, the CCI moving down, the RSI moving down, the 14-day RSI moving average moving down, the MACD histogram moving up, and the MACD looking for a bullish cross. It is pretty darn mixed and iffy in the 60-minute time frame. You could have another attempt at that 200-day moving average. I would give that pretty good odds that it would try that, but overall, do I think that it will not work out? Yeah, but we'll see. We actually don't have enough information at this moment, but that's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Could change tomorrow. TNA. You know, this isn't bad at all. This has been better than the Dow, better than SPX. We've been following it all this time. And what does it do? Once again, it has a hanging man at a place that doesn't tell us anything. Essentially, it's going sideways here high. It could be getting ready to break out to the upside. Yeah, it could break to the downside, sure. It went down today, hit the upper descending channel of the trend line of the descending channel, which it keeps doing over and over and over and over. So does this tell us anything? No. All that it tells us is that people are buying this this channel line, and that's fine. Everything else, same as the Dow, same as SPX. No need to rehash. It is working off a topping area, mild topping area in the heat map through time. So the longer it stays up here, the better for the bulls it is. So like we said last night, if you get a close below this trend line problem, it'll be readily apparent, but as for today, it didn't do it. So not going to worry about it until it happens, and that's all there is to it. UUP, the dollar. Yeah. We knew that it was coming into the lower price consensus level from the month of November. Possible area for support last night. Ended up to be minor support. Very interesting, the dollar going up and the markets going up along with it. Doesn't make very much sense. We have no tail above its non-existent body, but not in a place where it really matters. So we have a big nothing. We did not get an uptick today, so that should be at least a little bit of a tell. We should have the current low retested. We have the 14-day RSI moving average still moving down. We have everything else trying to tick back up with the exception of the MACD. So overall, until we get that uptick, I'm not going to worry about it. And that's all there is to that. Going on to GLD, gold. Gold got spanked again, but we have a hammer at the bottom of a possible range. Excellent. We have a bottoming area in the heat map. Excellent. And we have everything ticking down with the exception of the CCI. A couple of people are taking a little bit of a nibble here. Everything else is negative, even a first day downtick on the 14-day RSI moving average. But, yeah, we have a possible reversal area. This has gone too far. Too far. And it can go further. Yes, it can go further. It can go down here to the previous support. Absolutely, it can. But there is a chance. And we just don't know if it's going to get more oversold or not at this moment. It does have the potential, but now we're starting to get potentials for maybe turning around, and we'll have to see. If this does turn around, really the dollar should go down. So if this is saying it's time to turn, it makes us look at the UUP chart and say, yeah, it needs to retest the previous low. And this should have a really good spike when it finally gets a bid, because everybody is going short precious metals. It's kind of out of hand. And SLV. Yeah, it's more the same. We actually have a little doji star cross inside the long-term moving average bar. We said last night this is the area where it should get caught. And yeah, even though it is down a little bit, really it did get caught. It did peak out of the other side of the long-term moving average bar, but I'm not overly concerned about that. It got caught. We do have a secondary reset underway at the moment. It's already getting a little bit long in the tooth. Silver has done so much better than gold, and we know that at some point there should be a retest of this ascending trend line, which at the moment takes us up just above 32.5, which would be a really nice move to the upside, 70 cents roundabout. It's just a matter of when these are going to turn. We have absolutely nothing in the heat map suggesting a top or a bottom. It can do whatever it wants. And we already have the fast stochastic trying to turn a little bit. So, could be very early indication, but we are also getting underway with a bearish cross on the MACD. It is anyone's game at this moment, so I'm not going to jump on one side or the other, but we just know there isn't too much time left in this down move, and I am patiently waiting for a turn sign. Going on to CompQ, the NASDAQ. This one was ugly today, thanks to Apple, which we will get into in a moment. We had that gap in the data last night that I didn't catch immediately. We couldn't do anything with CompQ last night. So the moving averages are going to be a little screwed up. And but nonetheless, if it had today was its downtick, then it would have resolved it intraday. We have to see what it wants to do next. Indicator-wise, it's not that bad. Stochastics, for the most part, holding high. A little decline in the CCI, a little decline in the RSI. 14-day RSI moving average is still going up. Small decline in the MACD histogram. The MACD is still going up. So, am I overly concerned about this at the moment? The worst thing about this is it's back at the bottom of the long-term moving average bar, and it lost the 200-day moving average. If it can regain both of those things, it's going to be a totally different picture. So, yeah, a little more time on this one. A little more time. And Apple. Now, here's the nastiness of the day. Apple really put the hurt on the market as a whole. Just terrible. Out of control. Closing below the lower price consensus level for the current month. I think this is way overdone. But let's look at the evidence. Evidence says we have a blip in the heat map. Alright, so we already know it's oversold. We have the stochastics in a great decline. The fast is already getting to oversold. So we know there isn't too much time left. I posted in the daily running thread today that you know, the train wreck was about over, and just based off of this, I don't think it has too much farther to go. It could dump out and go here, but to the previous low. But really, it just doesn't have that much time. It just doesn't have that much time. I don't see. But I guess we need more information. We certainly don't have a sign of a turn today. We just have a sign that it's gone crazy down and taking everything with it, or at least putting the hurt on a lot of things which should be up. Going on to GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. And last night we said give it more time. Today, outstanding move to the upside. It went right to its previous high, backed away from that point. This thing breaks out of that. We know that the Dow should do really good. This is a big move. We have a tiny little blip in the heat map. We have most of the things still going up, most notably the 14-day RSI moving average, plenty of room to move to the upside. But, you know, the SPX and the Dow itself look kind of questionable. This does not give us a clear tell that it's breaking out. So it makes me a little bit nervous, and I would like to see that happen before, committing to the bull side at this moment. But this is certainly an encouraging sign. Absolutely. JP Morgan, the most important bank, had a good day. Had a really good day. Making a new recent high, getting to the upper price consensus level of the new month, backing away. Tiny blip in the heat map, but really nothing big. The stochastics are in decline. CCI, RSI up. 14-day RSI moving average finally curling up. MACD histogram up. MACD up. Am I afraid of the stochastics at this moment? No, I am not. All that we need is a actual close up here above this whole little line area. And that will be a really good tell. We just don't have it yet. And XLF, the financials as a whole. And it's more of the same. New recent high today. Very nice. Piercing the upper price consensus level. Excellent. Tiny blip in the heat map. And everything else is the same as JP Morgan. I'm not going to rehash. But yes, this is also an encouraging sign. So, are the bulls in trouble? It's very iffy. It's very iffy. I would slightly favor the bulls, but I also think that tomorrow is more negative than positive. So the question becomes, if it does go down tomorrow, is it going to be a big down or is it going to be slight? If it's slight, then the bulls probably win in the short term. If it's bad, then very likely we're going to break the sideways movement on most of the charts. And then we'll be in decline. So tomorrow, very important day, and that's all there is to it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This channel video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.